Hello, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Romo Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and joining me today is a 2024 Hall of Fame inductee, Hal Schmitt. Hal, welcome, man.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Great to be back. So you were back. You've been back a few times, but
Yep.
first time we met was last year, right about this time too. 'Cause I think it was coming up with like a reunion game or a homecoming game.
It's 1973's 50th reunion. I came back to Raleigh for that and met Mark Miller, your basketball
Yep.
coach at that time, and he arranged a meeting for me and you and Ethan to get together. So that was the first time that I met you almost a year ago, and just kind of grown from that point.
I tell you, I mean, you look at, I mean, what an honor. I mean, you had such a great career. It was such an honor for Ethan to meet you and me as well, and just hearing a little bit about what you went through here at the high school, difference in the game, how it was done back then.
Yeah.
Using bigs inside
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
running the three. So, what were some of your great memories of when you played here at high school?
Well, first, let me tell you this, Tom. I'm very grateful for Ethan because if it wasn't for Ethan Brown, nobody would have remembered my name. But that was all 50 years ago. That's stuff in the past. But gosh, we had some great rivalries back in the day with Salem. All of our conference rivals, we played a lot against, of course, Lebanon and Waynesville, and we just had some knockdown dragouts in those years. The game was different, obviously. It was, today they're more like football players. Back then, I played 6'6", probably 170 pounds, 175 pounds, and could play at that size and not get beaten up too badly. But of course, you didn't have a shot clock. You didn't have a three-point circle. So scoring was done mostly, free throw line, perimeter, that kind of thing. There were long shots. We had a guy my junior year, Randy Rouse, transferred here for a year from Newburgh. He was a heck of an outside shooter. So we had a pretty good inside-outside game. Mark Malone was another big down low with me, 6'4". He had the football body. Don McFarland, another gangly guard, 6'4", that could penetrate and shoot from well. So it's just a different type of game than it was. But I certainly enjoy watching the game. I've watched over the years and got to see Ethan play once this year, and he had 45 in that game, and a game I'll never forget against Springfield Central, right here in this building. And got to give him an award for 47 points, breaking the school record. 47 points that Tuesday against West County. So
Because that 45 points was your record.
Yes,
That you had set back in 76.
that would have been 74. Yeah, my senior year. Yeah.
Again, and that's lasted that 50 years.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of special. Right earlier in that week, and then came up because you're living in Bowling Green now,
Right.
Kentucky, and you drove up for it, which again meant a lot to Ethan. And I'll just tell you right now, one of the best things about Hal is we've only known each other for a year, but the way you've reached out to Ethan and to me along the way, and always been there checking on games, checking things. It's really been a lot to us and to Ethan. It just says a lot about the character you are. So whether or not it has anything to do with your stats and your history that you've done here at Raleigh High School, as far as I'm concerned, as a Hall of Famer, you are right there as a person. So really
I appreciate that. I've enjoyed getting to know him, and he just reminds me a lot of me 50 years ago. He's got basketball in his eyes, and that's all he sees. And he's a very polite young man, and just an absolute thrill to watch. He's got great floor awareness. You're going to hear big things from him. I just asked him at that presentation that night, just leave me one record. He said, you can keep the rebounds. I'll never get that.
That's what he said.
But he'll break all the scoring records.
Yeah, so right now, you're the second all-time leading scorer, and you had the single game record and single season record, I believe, scored.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And you're the all-time leading rebounder for all high schools.
Yeah, and I only played 3 years, but averaged 14 rebounds a game at that time. And still, some of the criticism that I got from coaches, from college coaches that were watching me, is I wasn't aggressive enough. I was frail. I prefer to, get the shot and go to work with it offensively. But if I have one regret about my high school career, it was not working hard enough. I didn't push myself, and I did not took my horn. I didn't have anybody to push me, so I didn't know what hard work was about until I got to college, and everybody was good then. So then you really had to work to earn your space. So I learned to my first couple of years I played junior varsity and learned to enjoy the bench and the varsity games. Played sparingly my sophomore year, then started my junior and senior years. So that was an experience that Ethan will get to soon have, and I look forward to seeing him continue to grow these next 2 years and seeing him flourish in the college game.
So that was at Arkansas State, down in
Right.
Jonesboro, and again, a D1 school, and I mean, that point, I don't know who else has been to a D1 for basketball in the program's history. There's only been a few that
Yeah.
I'm aware of. So yeah, that's really, really good. Really, obviously a great experience. I had to be going in. And you said not having that awareness. So again, a smaller town, smaller community, though small schools around here say Raleigh's big, but you don't have, like, you're not up in the city where you're constantly being pushed and challenged.
Right.
Travel ball in the summer wasn't a thing back
Was
then.
not. It was not.
And-
Occasionally, you could find a way to scrimmage, get some of the at that time UMR,
Yeah.
now the S&T basketball players. So that taught me a little bit about it at that time, but I just didn't push, and I regret not doing that because I feel like I had another gear in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things in today's world, because of how it is, everything's televised, the
Yes.
social media, the hype, individual trainers that are out there.
Oh, yeah.
We use Kobe Wands, who's a two-time All-State basketball player here for the Bulldogs, does the work with Ethan. People have specialized trainers, multiple trainers.
Yeah.
We have them come up, they offer to come up here to train Ethan. Completely different time that we're living in today.
Oh,
The kids
and in college, you have your nutritionists, you have psychologists that work
Yep.
with the kids to work through the psychological part of the game, which is a big deal. We just had to hammer through it in those days, but now they get all the help that they need academically, as well as becoming a more rounded person when they get out of school. So that's where I work with work around college athletes, and I try to talk to them and tell them about life after basketball, because I know how I was. Basketball was life in those days. I know it is for Ethan, but there'll come a time when it's the last time, and you have to be prepared for what's next. But your experiences in high school and college are so valuable because they teach you how to be a person, how to live as a husband, a father, an employee. It teaches you, it teaches you how to be responsible and live a little notch above what's expected of you. So I've learned those things between that and my parents. Athletics taught me that.
That's incredible. And now you're at Western Kentucky doing the radio. Been doing that for how many years now?
This will be my 19th season. I'm a color analyst for Western's men basketball, and that has been an absolute trip, Tom. During my career as a financial advisor, I was doing it. I retired from that 5 years ago, but this will be my 19th season behind the mic with Western Kentucky. And I've met some, Jerry West, Bill Walton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Danny Ainge. I've just met people in the business, Dick Vitale. I mean, keep going,
Yeah.
Carl Ravitch, all these guys that do it professionally now, and gotten to meet them, and it's been such a joy, and that I still find joy in doing that. I'm
Yeah.
certainly not doing it for the money,
Yeah.
but the experience to me is priceless, and the travel gets to be a pain in the keister sometimes, but I love being around the young kids and trying to teach them a little bit about what I've learned in life.
Having that impact, that's a big thing with the stuff I do on the side is, being that person of impact. And that's what you've been. And you've done it through your life. You've gone on, you got your family that's here today as well to watch. You got the Hall of Fame tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We're going to be, hopefully the weather's going to hold out. We're going to be able to get them out on the field here and recognize them. So just a lot of great things going on. Person of impact, you're again with us personally as well as with the team. Appreciate everything. Congratulations on the award with 2024 Hall of Fame class.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm very honored to receive the award. I got a fantastic class I'm being recognized with, and I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Theirs all based on accomplishments after high school. Mine goes back 50 years to high school. So
50 incredible years.
it has been 50 incredible years.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tom.
everything. All right. Thank you very much. For Tom Brown, Inside the Huddle, I got Hal Schmitt here, 2024 Hall of Famer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
If I don't see you, tell them I said hello.